Hey everybody, how are you doing? It's time for an update. It is October 16th. Last video I left was about 40 seconds where I complained about my neighbor. I haven't actually looked at the video or looked at any of the comments to see if there's any. I'll follow up though. I was thinking I was really just venting, so however folks commented, it was like that wasn't the point. I just needed to just share, that it's ongoing. I'll tell you what, the following day, it happened again. It happens almost every day when the weather's good. But the next day, I had a meeting the day before. Give you an update on a lot of things here, hopefully. With the Bemis Contemporary Center for Art, who I'm doing a fair amount of work with right now. And I had an assignment, I had a recording assignment, that I needed to do, and it was a quiet one, and I literally could not work because of the volume of my neighbor's boombox. So I was really angry, and I was too angry to go talk to him about it. So I made a comment on Facebook, and I left for a while. I did some business, and I came back. Sure enough, it's still going. I get out of my car and I go directly over to my neighbor, who is my cousin. Ray is his name. And any family member that happens to see this, or anyone that sees this, if you want to show this to Ray, go ahead, because I'm just telling what's going on. So I go over to Ray and I asked him if he could possibly just turn it off for a while because I have work to do. And sure enough, Ray's response was indignant, as though I'm being unreasonable, telling him to turn his music down, which is blaring. You can hear it for blocks. And I said, Ray, I never say anything, but I have work to do in my studio. I can't hear. And he looks at me like I'm crazy, and he says, why not? And so I kept my cool, because I know what I'm dealing with. I said, Ray, and I pointed to my house. I said, my studio is right there, Ray, right there. I said, I'll demonstrate, come over and you can hear for yourself. Of course he didn't want to do that. Turn it down. And I didn't labor too much. I said, Ray, I can't hear my own stereo. Yours is so loud. And then I just said, I don't hardly ever say nothing. So he turns it off, and I know I'm a good observer of human behavior. He kind of stomped around and didn't turn it off, and then went in the house, like I had ruined his vibe. I'm telling you folks, this practice of just I know it happens. I know it happens within certain subcultures and certain parts of cities where people play their music loud outside, and it's just an accepted practice. But it's sad to just assume or to just be oblivious to others around you. Anyway, that's the latest with that. It's quiet now. I hope it stays quiet, I think I have every reasonable right to expect the day to be quiet. Here's an update on some other things. I told you about working on a movie. Well, they never called me back, and I actually texted them a few times. For whatever reason, they didn't call me back. They haven't called me back, but I do expect to get paid for the day I work. And I'm saying this on record publicly in case anyone from the film company or the guy that hired me, Mike, sees this. I gave you a 14-hour day. I expect to get paid. And I will be pursuing it, because it's apparent at this point that I didn't work out for you or something. I keep making myself available. You don't call me back. So that's what's up. Am I disappointed about that? No, because on the one day that I was working in the art department, I had said I'd never done this before. I worked on movies, but I got a cut finger. This tooth got bumped, moving stuff. It still hurts. You know, and I worked before signing any papers, which I never do on movies. You know, it's just, you know, I checked the people out. Enough people I knew the guy, Mike, who asked for my help, that I felt okay entering into the situation. We'll see how it plays out. I'm stating publicly for the record that I worked 14 hours on this movie. It snows all the time in April or something like that. I expect to get paid, and I'll be pursuing it. In Murphy news, I'm waiting, and this is the hardest part about manufacturing records, is waiting. Once you put the order in, you know, then you have to wait. It can be as many as 4 to 5 weeks, you know, depending. And at this point, because of what I was told regarding the Murphy test pressing, that vinyl orders in general are up, that I should expect a longer wait. So it would be nice if the records are here before the end of October, but I'm waiting. I've assembled here, for example, so far as what one of the folks that made a $200 contribution specifically to buy a test pressing. Here's one of those packages so far. So I gotta keep re-glue that so that's down. But here's one of the test pressings for Murphy with the individually made collage cover. This person also gets a 7-inch Dereck Higgins Dino Felipe. Like I said, I've just got a handful of these left. So, and hopefully the person that bought this doesn't have one already. But if they do, they can do what they want with this. So, of course, they get a finished version of Murphy, this test pressing, this single. They get the magazine. As many people as possible that order Murphy will get a copy of the magazine. The person also gets a poster, and there's only one of these like this. It's been redesigned, so this is a one of a kind. Here's a program from when I was at the Carver. Here's postcard notice card regarding the movie that I did the soundtrack for, Flyover. And then here is another postcard notice card regarding the love mural that I just helped to create with Say Adams. I've been talking about Say Adams from Def Jam. So the reception for this mural is tomorrow in Omaha, and these cards were made up to give people notice. So I'm throwing one of those in with the package. So I've put those together as I wait for word of Murphy. Haven't bought any records since the last update, so I don't have any records to show you. I've been really busy with art and music, so I haven't really been playing any records. Well, I've played a few. And the most recent big revelation, play-wise, was reading about Kate Bush because of her reemergence in the public eye, playing live after, 35 years. I pulled The Dreaming. I couldn't remember the whole album. This is really, really good. The Dreaming. This is prog. Absolutely Kate Bush, if you want to give her a genre. She's prog. Progressive. rock, pop, whatever. This album is so awesome. By the time you get to side two, it's like a whole world, and the way that her voice is acrobatic to the point that I slip in and out of listening to the story because there's a lot of content in her songs as well lyrically. And I don't always follow because it's just really not, again, not that important for me to get the gist of the feeling of the music. I don't have to always follow the words, so I drift in and out of following the words. When I catch them, they do help to build the picture even bigger. But Kate Bush's The Dreaming is excellent. Maybe as good as Hounds of Love. Maybe. I know that's the one that people always talk about. In reading about her, she has stated a few times that she is most proud of The Dreaming. Something else that I played, that because I don't ever play these records, I've had them forever and I never listened to them, was I played Jean-Michel Jarre's Equinox. And, this is not something that there's a reason why I don't play this much. There's kind of a spooky quality to this music that is not that interesting to me. Now, I like the fact that he's using synthesizers. It's, slightly epic, but overall, there's a bit of a creepiness to this album that, as I listened to it, I said, yeah, that's why I don't listen to this one. It's not that I don't like it. It's well done. It's the mood of the album. I don't particularly like it. I also listened to one side of Never Forever by Kate Bush. And I love Kate Bush. It's like having kind of a reawakening of my appreciation of her. This is really, really good. I don't know what else to say. So I'm going to not keep it long. I just wanted to give an update on what's going on with Murphy. I really hope soon that I'll be getting information regarding FedEx tracking, that the stuff is on its way, and we can get that going. Since I did this, have become more involved with the Bemis and projects, I've also had to become more involved with meetings, and that was a part of life I had left behind with my old job. And going to these meetings and becoming involved in the details again reminds me of how complicated it is to get things done. It reminds me of how things are driven by money and by intent, and how really nothing is simple or clear cut. It kind of makes me realize just how complex things are, and how basically no matter what I say about the world situation, I have no control over it, have no clue as to what's really going on, to what level. I just know that the world looks really mad. It looks really crazy, and it appears that people who say that they know what they're doing, it just doesn't appear that either they don't know what they're doing, or their agenda that they're telling us is a complete lie, and they're doing something, telling us it's one thing, and we keep seeing the results, which are not good. Everything from Ebola to the Middle East madness, absolute madness, to the global it's like the global refusal to deal with climate change and planetary cares, I should say. It's like Noam Chomsky has come out and said it, and I agree with him that it's not that we're having a class war, but it's that the corporate world is having war on the common man, and they're winning. They're just destroying everything. They're just gobbling it up for their own purposes, their own short-term, short-sighted purposes, which I can't see what they are, and most of us can't see what they are, and they just keep doing it, so somebody's happy, somebody's winning. I don't know. So that's why I'm just kind of focusing on what's in front of me, which is music and art. You know, I don't know. It doesn't look like the people who say they know what's going on, doesn't look like they know what's going on, or that they don't care, or that they're up to something really evil. Every day, more and more, that's what it looks like to me. You know, one last thing. While I was working on the movie on the one set, I had to help tear down and decorate this house. And this house was a very typical white middle American Nebraskan house. The couple were there, older than me, in their maybe late 60s, white bread as you can get. And as I'm observing the house and all the knickknacks and all the ephemera of middle-class America, I'm seeing where these people, for example, in their cozy little world, when and if they're confronted with hard facts about what's really going on with the people who supposedly are leaders and represent them, they can't believe it. It completely does not coincide with the world that they've grown up in. It just doesn't make sense. And so I can see how many people cannot fathom just how out of control, crazy, sinister, evil, fucked up power is in this world. And we just have to sit on the ride and take the consequences, because it appears we're powerless to do anything to make it better. Well, the one thing I can do is to, keep having good days and try to do something in my own personal life to make things better. That's all I can do. But I sure do wonder, I really do. I just wonder what the hell is going on with the ruling class. They seem really like monsters.